Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Bourrasque, the Bat Châtillon Bourrasque. It's a Tier 8 French premium medium tank located on the south spawn of Malinovka, and this one is under the command of Mr. Lan. Well, we've got two replays featuring Mr. Lan in the Bourrasque. As you know, it's a medium tank, but it's actually made from a combined couple of light tanks. The EBR-105 turret, and the hull is from a Bat Châtillon 12 ton. Okay, he's made it to the spotting bush, and he's already spotted a Bisonte C45 on his way up the hill. His rear end's not quite involved in the bush, but that should cover him. And the enemy T-54 lightweight has been wiped out. Okay, so he should get some spotting from this bush. It's already picked up 652 hit points from that T-54 lightweight. Of course, there is a problem to being in the bush, and if there's Arty in the game, then obviously you stand a good chance of being hit. You notice he's turned his vehicle around, so it's actually facing towards the south, so it can make a quick getaway. There's no Arty in this game, so he's not likely to get hit by an Arty round. All Arty players, well, most Arty players will blind hit the spotting bushes just in case there's somebody there, and I think you've seen quite a few of my videos where I've actually fired a round into the bush and actually killed an enemy tank outright with my first shot. In fact, it's quite often tanks like Type 64s who get wiped out in the bush because they've got no armour, they're open top, and they are a light tank. So they think, oh, it's a smart move, but no, it's not, because you will end up getting hit. And that Bisonte looked like he was firing in this direction, and I think Mr. Lan decided probably better for him to pull away. Now, will he get spotted by that T-25 pilot number 1? He fires around in at the Udas. Second shot doesn't work though. Oops, and he took a round from the Udas 16. Now, as you know, this has got a 105mm gun, which is capable of doing 360 alpha, and with standard APCR. In fact, actually, the standard APCR, which is there, has got no shells in it. That does 190 penetration. With the premium rounds, he can actually get 240mm of penetration, and he's loaded 32 rounds of APCR and 4 rounds of HE. Okay, the T-25 pilot number 1's gone. He fires the second one on a blind shot at the Udas 16. Don't know if he got him, but of course he's now in the natural reload. Reload time is 21.54. He's got a reload time of 19.59, so he's managed to shave about a second and a half or 2 seconds off the reload time. Okay, enemy GSOR 1008 is hiding behind that rock at the moment. He's probably on reload. That thing has got such a dreadful reload time, something like 37 seconds. And many people on the NA server have actually been trying it out for the first time because it was the free rental that Wargaming put out this week. And so they're getting to understand that whilst it does have a lot of burst damage, the ability to do nearly 1200 hit points of damage in one clip, it does have an incredibly long reload time, and if you don't seek cover, you could end up getting taken out the game. Okay, enemy Bourrasque tried a couple of shots, but he's now pulled back and we've lost sight of him. View range on this tank is 390 meters. It's got about the same view range as many light tanks, and he's doing the in-out thing with his mouse, which we normally discourage. I know a lot of players do it as a nervous thing, and he gets one round into the Bourrasque and quickly pulls out the bush to avoid the enemy firing one back, but he didn't get touched, so he's holding on to the round that he's got, and he might pop the reload if he realizes that yet nobody's turned up, nobody's showing. He might as well reload. Oh, GSM miles inside, puts it in and gets a hit and a high roll at 373. He's opted to pull away from the bush this time because he realizes any enemy tank is now going to consider that bush a target, and so yeah, he's better to run off. You can only take too many shots from the same spot before people start to realise that, yeah, there's a tank there, and they do something about it. Okay, the enemy object 277's gone, and their AMX M4451. I should have said right from the start, this is a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. And at the moment, the enemy team's doing well because they're 2 tanks up on us. But Mr. Lance decided to go up the hill to see if he can get any damage on these enemy. And, well, a Bat Chat 25 tons turned up, and he's just got wiped out. Taken out by our SU-130PM. I should say, actually, I had a very good game in the SU-130PM just today. And I carried the team right at the very end. Only got a mediocre amount of damage, but I carried it. It was a 2 versus 1 situation right at the end. I was the one, but I took out both enemy tanks to win the game. Okay, well, Bourrasque is a game-winning tank as well. Bisonte, you're in trouble now. He gets that one right on the top, but it only damages one of the modules. Don't know about the second one because he was unspotted at the time it went in. There's still 2 enemy tanks up here, and one of them's an Udes. I think it's the same Udes who hit him earlier in the game, actually, the 16. There he is, and there's a Wizzy 111 Model 5A, the tier 10.
Moving to support you.
Okay, the Renegade's going to help us. He's wondering. Okay, we're reloaded and ready to go with the premium ammo.
Positive.
Oh, there's the Udes. Okay, right, now he needs to be careful. Here we go. This is going to hurt. 1 in. 2 gets the kill. He did take a hit. 3. Is it 387? Not a lot. I did say this is going to hurt you because the Udes was bound to get 1 shot in regardless. But of course, Mr. Lamb made sure it was his last shot. Okay, I think the hill is now ours. The Wizzy 111's not going to stay up here. Not when there's 2 tanks, one of which is capable of doing 720 burst damage. Now, as I did say right at the start, at least I hope I did say at the start, this is a 2 replay video, both featuring Mr. Lan and both in the Bourrasque. He's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel, so he has been playing it quite some time. And those players who've played the Bourrasque quite a lot do actually get to know how well it performs. I'm not sure you can use that bush effectively without giving away your position though, because you have to expose yourself. Nope, he decided it wasn't worth it. He's taking a bit of a risk hanging over the edge there just for a moment, because if there's somebody down there, they might decide to shoot. In fact, he's looking this way, but I don't think he can see us. He's relying on somebody else, and those spaced armour on the turret do make it very difficult to catch. He goes for the rear, gets it. He might just get another one in. Well, he got 635 off that, not 720. And the Bisonte just take another hit from the Renegade. So he's now 1 shot. And that actually potentially gives Mr. Lan a patrol duty medal. Yeah, if you hang with your ass out over the cliff edge, somebody sooner or later is going to put a round into it. Yeah, he's doing the zoomy Arty thing again. I know a lot of players say that they do it as a nervous tick, but it just can be a little disconcerting for those players who don't do it because they get motion sickness. Okay, let's go to the bush and see if we can spot anything. I think that Bisonte is well and truly in the tree line now. Oh, the gorillas come out. Hello. Use the bush mechanic. First shot in. Second shot in. It's very obvious where we are though. And he's not firing because he just can't work it out. Which is weird because there's only one big bush here. And he's just trying to work it out. Oh, we missed. Okay. Go back up to the bush. Let's have another couple of shots into him. Using the bush mechanic. Nice. One into the gun shield. Oh, 15 hit points only. Now, I think that hit the gun on the gorilla, not the actual gun shield. And as a consequence, it probably damaged his gun module. But we didn't get the full effect of that 360 alpha. Okay, I'm going to take control of the camera because he's zooming in and out quite a bit now. And it's a bit disconcerting to do that. Please don't do that. This is better. A little less zoomy. Okay, it looks like the gorilla is coming over the top. So we're leaving the renegade behind because there's 5 left. Is it 5? Yeah, there's 5 left on our team. There's 6 enemies on the enemy team. Of course, no Arty, and of course Arty is the great leveler at this point because in this stage in the battle there's normally more Arty, well, there's at least 1 or 2 Arty, and if there are in the game, and this is when they can really have an effect upon the enemy. Okay, that Bourrasque we saw earlier in the game, I think we hit it earlier, puts one into the GSR, kill! Oh, he goes anyway! And have we got a shot in the Bourrasque? No, he's in the dip. He's in that little dip, so we can't get a shot. The SU-130PM should stay where he is, not try to go after him, because once he's in that little dip, the only way you can get him is actually go to a position to his west and shoot at him where he's not expecting it to come from. Because there's no defense if you're spotted by an enemy who happens to see you, and it looks like Mr. Land's deciding that he's going to do that. Okay. Now he could try and go to the bush. Oh, the Bourrasque has come out of the bush. Puts one in. He dives back down into the dip. Pop the reload. Okay. He's doing the in-out thing again. He must do it when he gets nervous. Now you don't want to get too close to the enemy because if he does see you before you're ready, then he's going to try and put a couple of shots into you instead. So the best place to go would be that direction, but look, at Object 274A has turned up. He fires one snap, fires the second one snap, maneuvers around the buildings without actually looking in this direction, so he knew they were there. He just decided to keep his eye on the enemy. Okay, now we're unspotted again and we've got these bushes to play with. If the enemy does try to come to the cap, and they've got very little time, they've got to start capping soon, otherwise they are definitely going to lose. We've got a Bisonte, he goes, he was the one shot, remember? After he got those rounds into him and the renegade hits him, the Bourrasque is still in his dip. We've got the 274. Now this corner of the is quite good because it's got bushes, so you can actually attack anyone who comes towards the cap and also anyone who's come from the other direction. But he's decided he's not going to stick there. I would have stayed in those positions because then there's no way anyone can come near the cap without getting hammered. Instead, he's decided he's going to go for the Bourrasque. Oh, I'm not so sure about this. You've got about equal hit points. You need to make sure your shots connect. And he ram kills the Bourrasque. Nice. Pulls back. Oh, watch out, because that 274A is in a perfect spot to hit you. And he's decided he's going to come around. This is a bit risky, I think. This is very risky. He's actually crossing the water. And the Wizzy 111 Model 5A is coming this direction. Luckily, he gets taken out by the SU-130PM. But we're now in full view of that 274A, although 6 Sense hasn't gone off. Here, we are a one-shot because he's down to just 72 hit points left and the clock's ticking. He's now trying to get close to the cap area, but in the bushes. Oh! And the 274A saw him. And that's the end of Mr. Land for this game, I'm afraid. But I think that they are, well, it's 2 each left. The 274 is moving towards the 274A. It's a one-shot. Oh, the 274A takes him out instead. leaving the FV4005 as our last player in the team, and at least he's got 100% health, but I don't think he'll have that for very long. Yep, he's starting to lose hit points. Unfortunately, he won't know where the gorilla is, and unless he gets hit and loses 800 hit points, and that's a draw. So the first battle is a draw, but a very good game by Mr. Lan. Well, in a break from our usual format where we will actually report the end of battle results at the end of the game, I'm going to show you the results of that battle first. And well, he got an ace tanker in that game. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 8 duelists for taking down 2 tanks that damaged him, and a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He did get the high caliber in that game for dealing the most damage in the game, and yes, he did end up with the patrol duty for spotting at least 6 enemy tanks and being the only one spotting them whilst they were damaged. So very well done in terms of the awards, but unfortunately it was a draw. We can see that he got the highest damage with 5,309 hit points of damage. Yeah, that's right, because my glasses on for this bit. And the second highest damage was actually the Wizzy 111 Model 5A with 3,658. So, oh, was that the other way around? Well, he's got the high caliber 5.3, yes. Okay, so the second highest damage was actually the FV4005 with 4,201, and then it was the Wizzy 111 Model 5A with 3,658. Yes, get it right, in the right order. So, yes, the Heshbon was doing quite well, but he was doing a lot of damage, but towards the end of the game he had virtually no health lost at all. So he was hiding and hitting the enemy from a long way away. So when it came to kills, it was the SU-130PM, shared it with the Bat Châtillon Bourrasque on the enemy team. They both got 4 kills each. The Heshbon got 3 kills, and then Mr. Lan got 2 alongside the Object 274A, the Wizzy 111 Model 5A, the 277 and the GSOR 1008. When it came to base XP, it was Mr. Lan who came out with top on this one because he got 1,064. He got 2 Battle Hero medals in this game, and the second highest scorer was the enemy brass with 667, followed by their Wizzy 111 Model 5A on his Model 14 rather on his own team, who got 565, just beating the higher tier version, the 5A, on the enemy team. So he fired 21 shots, 17 direct hits, 15 penetrations, 1 splash, damage of 5,609 hit points, of which 3,496 were at more than 300 meters. So most of his shots were long range shots, sniping at the enemy. 4 hits received, all 4 were penetrations. I'm afraid, yeah, the armor on this tank is really bad, so you don't want to get touched if you can, because usually the shots will penetrate. 5 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 3,439 hit points of spotting assist. On a premium count, he earned 109,440 credits, got 43,740 for battle payments, and 7,200 for the achievements award. That's for getting an epic or battle hero medal in a losing or drawn game. 218,700 credits altogether, and even though he used premium ammo throughout that one, he still ended up with a huge profit of 96,342 credits. 1,064 XP, 578 for the achievements, 246 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,709 experience points altogether. So a very good game. Sadly it ended in a draw and he wasn't alive at the end. I think he took a bit of a risk crossing that open area to get to the bushes near the at the front of the cap area. I think it would have been better, far better, if he'd stayed in those lakes, watching the cap or in the bushes just beyond the cap area, because if the 274 had turned up there, he would have been right royally holed by the Bourrasque and he probably would have got another kill out of it. So let's have a look at the second replay. The second replay is on the Siegfried Line map and we're on the North Spawn. Game on! It's ironic that it's Siegfried Line actually, because it was on Siegfried Line that I had my really good match with that SU-130PM just recently. In fact, earlier today. People actually sent me congratulations afterwards for winning the game. Oh, we've got enemy tanks turned up in the centre. Lovely shot on that LT-432. And he hit the tracks with the second round. And the LT-432's gone down. Okay, we've got an EBR out there though. But he's being mirrored by our EBR at the moment. Okay, we've got an enemy defender trying to come around the corner. He's a long way off, but we might be able to get a shot. But there's a nice target. Oh, missed with the first one. Come on, poke your head round. He's trying to go for the cupolas, but the defender does have very flat cupolas, which makes it very difficult to get a pen on those. He is using the APCR again, mostly. No, he hit it, but he didn't pen it. Yeah, I think he wants a bit of that Progetto as well, if he can get it. 2 Progettos. Yeah, he's doing the in-out thing again, so I'm going to have to take control of the camera. Okay, they've killed the EBR, which means now he can use the outskirts of the city to go around and use the battlement walls to protect him from being spotted by the enemy. He can't get too close though. If he does, the enemy's going to see him. Oh, missed with the first one. He does get hit. The turret on the Progetto is very, very weak. So he gets one in, and the round he actually took hit his tracks, so he's okay. Didn't suffer any loss of hit points. Yeah, that Progetto 54 is going to spot him if he gets too close to the wall. And the enemy Progetto 46 knows he's here, but can't do anything about it. In fact, it looks like he's disappeared. He's gone away. So he's now using the folds in the earth to get round these enemy without being spotted, so he can attack from behind. Nice! Gets one into the Schwarzpanzer. And again, lovely shots. Good damage. Ah, but the Schwarzpanzer didn't like it. Oh! He flipped himself almost. Yeah, those dragon's teeth are real pain in the butt. Trying to go for the top of the Pegasus, the Progetto. Now, this is where it gets interesting because he might be able to get. Oh, he's got the rear of a Patriot. And can he get the kill? No! Denied! Computer says no, you don't get that one. Okay, so he's moving on. He's got loads of enemy which he can pump it rounds into their rears. Okay, he's got the Progetto, the same one he hit earlier. Not sure. He knows we're here and he takes a second round. But unfortunately he did get us a 483 and we need to get the hell out of here because the enemy knows we're here. There's a Bourrasque over here somewhere. Let's use the edge of the lakes. There's only one enemy left. It's that Bourrasque. Can he get it? He's got no kills this game so far. Here's the Bourrasque. Goes for it. Puts one in. And the Bourrasque gets him right at the end. But that Bourrasque was not going to live very long. And he dies momentarily afterwards. But this time round, it's a victory. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a third mark game for Mr. Land and the Bat Châtillon Bourrasque. Yes, he's finally got it, 3 rings on his barrel. He got a third class tanker in that game, mainly because I suppose he didn't get that many kills. In fact, he didn't get any at all, but he did do some damage against the enemy. He got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points with his own vehicle, and because he hit enough of the enemy and spotted enough and did assistance damage on enough, he got a Confederate medal as well out of that game. Let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Well, didn't get the any kills, but he did get the highest damage in the game, but it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, so he didn't get the high caliber. He got 2,962 hit points, with the Samur SM getting 2,356, and after that it was the KV4 with 2,028. When it came to kills, it was the Brigetto on his own team who got the most with 3 kills, 2 kills for the Carnarvon, the CS52 List, the KV4, and 1 member of the enemy team, their Borsig, managed to get 2 kills as well. And when it came to base XP, it's Mr. Lan. Yes, he did the most in that one. 1017 base, 929 went to the Panhard EBR, and 915? I think it's 915. Yes, it is 915, goes to the KV4. He fired 13 shots in this game, got 10 direct hits and 8 penetrations. Damage of 2,962 hit points, of which 388 were at more than 300 meters. 6 hits received, 5 penetrations, 1 non-penetrations. Yeah, the Schwarzpanzer didn't like being hit, neither did the Brigetto for that matter, especially when he was being hit up the rear as he had been, as the other tanks have been. They don't like it up them, I'm afraid. Yes, you'll get the reference to Dad's Army, the television show, if you understand that phrase. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, no kills, 1,592 hit points of spotting assist. On a premium count, he earned 70,848 credits, got 26,568 from battle payments, a total of 132,840, and despite the fact that he was firing nothing but APCR, he still ended with a profit of 37,980 credits. And I guess you can excuse somebody using APCR if they're after their 3rd mark, and he's finally done it in this vehicle. 1,017 XP, 153 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 1,679 experience points altogether, so quite a fast game. It didn't last very long, 4 minutes 17 seconds, and he was killed within the last few seconds of the game, just as he was on the previous game. But this one time round, it was a win, and it was that 3rd mark, so I suppose we can excuse that. But he was being very, very aggressive, and I always like aggressive play because it tends to make you come out on top, or at least in those top 3 players, if you can defeat the enemy by using sheer aggression alone. Do something unusual, get behind them, start shooting them in the ass, and yeah, they get the message. I hope you enjoyed both those replays, the one on the Malinovka map and the one that followed up on Siegfried Line. If you did enjoy these replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And please do let other people know about that our channel exists. Yes, I know it says What Arty Noobs as the title. I called the YouTube channel after the group which I founded with a fellow player back in 2016. We've been going a long time. We don't just feature Arty plays, but we do, because we do feature tanks like this. But the thing is, we're probably the only channel on YouTube that regularly features not only tank plays but Arty plays as well. And you can learn an awful lot from watching some of these really great players play the game. I hope you enjoyed that. So thank you very much indeed for watching this video.